D.O. Glasgow, WCLU.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Dell Small Business.
I'm Wendy Gillette in New York. Brits are reacting to the news this morning that embattled British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has agreed to step down.
I was originally a fan, but I think for a long time now the writing's been on the wall, and I think it was getting very desperate. I think we've got to look at our reputation on a global basis as well.
CBS News correspondent Vicky Barker from London on the future.
What happens now? Boris Johnson wants to stay on for months until his Conservative Party chooses his successor at its annual meeting in the fall. But it's possible his fed-up party will work to unseat him sooner, installing a caretaker prime minister until they can elect a replacement. At least 10 candidates expected to vie for the job. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
The suspect accused of shooting into a July 4th parade outside Chicago made his first court appearance. He's being held with no bond. Police say he was contemplating attacking another parade in Madison, Wisconsin. The mayor there, Satya Rose Conway.
On his way here, he drove past hundreds of communities celebrating the 4th of July. All of us are at risk when weapons of war are on our streets.
A new report reveals disturbing information about another mass shooting in Uvalde, Texas. CBS's Janet Shamlian has more.
A Uvalde police officer had the gunman in his sights outside before the shooter entered the school and asked a supervisor for permission to shoot, but never received it. Texas State University issued the report, it says, at the request of the governor and Department of Public Safety.
Investigators are looking for who sold the fentanyl that may have killed 9 people over the weekend in the Florida Panhandle.
6 deaths have been confirmed, with 3 more believed to be from the tainted drugs as well. Gadsden County Sheriff Morris Young says other drugs are common there. Fentanyl is not.
A lot of these drugs are coming from the southern border into Atlanta and dispersed down here to South Georgia, North Florida.
Young says his priority now is finding the dealers and getting these opioids off the street before they kill again. Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
The American Academy of Pediatrics is revising its sleep recommendations for infants for the first time in 6 years to prevent sleep-related deaths. CBS Boston medical reporter Dr. Malika Marshall.
The AAP is emphasizing that infants need to sleep alone on their backs on flat surfaces without an incline, and that no soft bedding, blankets, or toys should be in the crib or bassinet.
U.S. stock futures are up. This is CBS News.
Dell's Black Friday and July sale is here with savings on top-rated business computers with Intel Core processors. Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL.
Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because our Sleep Number 360 smart bed is really smart. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to help keep you both comfortable. Plus, it's temperature balancing so you stay cool. It's even smart enough to know exactly how long, how well, and when you slept, and to help you get almost 30 minutes more restful sleep per night. Sleep Number takes care of the science. All you have to do is sleep. During our lowest prices of the season, the Queen Sleep Number 360 C2 smart bed is only $8.99, only for a limited time. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
A crying baby is impossible to ignore, but a quiet baby can be easy to forget. Every year, dozens of children lose their lives because otherwise attentive adults forgot they were in the back seat. It only takes a moment for a car to heat up to dangerous levels, even on cooler days. So get in the habit of always looking in the back seat and use reminders to ensure baby is always with you. Where's baby? Look before you lock. Paid for by NHTSA.
An Avenger has a new partnership with the federal government. CBS News correspondent Monica Ricks has the story.
Iron Man himself, Robert Downey Jr., is helping the Energy Department recruit new workers to focus on climate change and clean energy.
Well, that $62 billion from Congress isn't going to spend itself.
He made an animated video to promote the team with Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm.
Thanks to Congress's passage of President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law, DOE's Clean Energy Corps is hiring.
In this economy?
Yes, Robert, and we're looking for folks to help us with pretty much everything.
Scientists.
IT teams.
Contract managers.
The department said to hire about 1,000 new workers. Monica Ricks, CBS News.
The World Health Organization has added 2 new deaths from the monkeypox outbreak, bringing the total to 3 since the start of the year. The virus has also spread to new areas. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Stress. It never seems to end when you owe money to the IRS. What about the years of unfiled tax returns? Have you tried another tax service and gotten nowhere? Then you need Tax Alliance. Why? Years of being A+ rated with a Better Business Bureau with no consumer complaints sets them apart. Call 800-987-1097. That's 800-987-1097. Don't wait until the IRS attacks your wages, bank account, your home or pension, and even your Social Security check. Tax Alliance specializes in IRS tax relief programs, including the Fresh Start Initiative, which can finally free yourself from IRS debt. Their tax professionals can file returns, fight the IRS to substantially lower your IRS debt, or possibly even have it forgiven. If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes, have unfiled tax returns, or have a payment plan and are still frustrated, call 800-987-1097. That's 800-987-1097.
Tax Alliance, your tax resolution solution.
Get glowing for your wedding day and have picture-perfect skin with the help of the experts at R Plus Med Spa. They prioritize a tailored approach, starting with a complimentary bridal consultation to share any skin concerns you have as you prepare for your big day. This is also perfect for the mother of the bride, the groom, and your bridal party. R Plus Med Spa, 210 Shane Drive in Glasgow. Call 270-651-4SPA and schedule your complimentary bridal consultation today.
U.S. Bank is a strong bank that offers many services to all types of customers. But our real strength is in our people, like our community president, Irvin Sorrell. Irvin is also a hands-on branch manager for the South Green Street and Wall Street locations. He's there to answer questions, to help you establish a banking relationship with the services you need. You'll find Irvin easy to talk to and very helpful in helping you with your banking needs and challenges. Reach out to Irvin at 270-659-3201. U.S. Bank. Our people make us a great bank for you. U.S. Bank is a strong bank that offers many services to all types of customers. Member FDIC.
You can depend on WCLU for local news on the air, online, on demand at WCLUradio.com.
Good Morning Live is on the air at 6:07, and we have a warm 75-degree temperature reading this morning. Let me talk about the birthdays that we have so far today. And we know that Lindsay Lloyd celebrates, so does Kathy Kingery, Chad Williams, Jerry Reinhardt. It's Gina Newberry's birthday. Clinton Powell. Hey, Clinton, happy 67th birthday. Bonnie Riggs. Bonnie is 65. Cassie Edwards with the birthday. Stacy Hammer. Joyce Driver is 71 today. Cassie Traylor. Cassie, we understand, is turning 39 today. Good, healthy start here on the morning show. 651-9149 or 800-956-1023 and online here. Really easy click at WCLUradio.com. All right, let's get over here and talk about the weather forecast for today, shall we? If I can get my little weather song to play. We've got, first of all, 75 degrees. And today it's going to be showers and thunderstorms likely this afternoon. Sunny and hot, a high of 94. The heat index could be between 100 and 103 today. 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms tonight, low of 74. 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms for Friday, and a high up to 93 degrees. Friday night, showers and thunderstorms likely, a low of 72. The precip chance Friday night is 60%, and that increases to 70% on Saturday, and a high of 87 degrees. So it does appear that the rain chance is high enough to maybe deter some of the blistering heat. But we are under an extreme heat advisory for today here in South Central Kentucky because it's going to continue to be a very, very hot situation here as we move forward. The barometer is at 29.97. The winds are out of the southeast at a mere mile an hour, 96% humidity. We had 1/100th of an inch of rain, 0.01 in the rain gauge from yesterday. Some folks were lucky enough to be under the right cloud. For example, we have Burkesville getting 1/4 of an inch yesterday. Hodgenville, they got a little over 6/10 of an inch of rain up in LaRue County yesterday. Way up on the river in Carrollton, they got 1 inch and 2/100. So if you're under the right cloud, then maybe you can get a little bit of precipitation. But maybe the chances are going to increase here in a little bit. Currently, it's 75 degrees at WCLU. Coming up, Brendan Crane in the newsroom, the live and local 6 o'clock morning edition continues. Hurt Auto Sales, a busy place year-round, but this time of the year, folks are wanting to roll in a direction where they can save money and head out for the big vacation.
Speaking of vacations, we got a great ride to go anywhere you want to go. The 2015 GMC Yukon XL SLT 4-wheel drive, third row seat, lots of room for $24,900. Got a 2017 Jeep Renegade, small SUV, 2-wheel drive, great gas mileage, only $17,900.
Great price.
2014 Nissan Altima, 4-door sedan, white with tan leather, sunroof, local, one owner, only $14,900. Another nice ride, we got a 2008 Yukon XL Denali, all-wheel drive, third row seat as well, black on black, chrome wheels, $14,900.
Some of these vehicles are getting hard to come by.
They're really hard to find.
So take advantage of a guy that knows how to hook them and sell them fast. At Hurt Auto Sales, 621 West Main Street, Glasgow.
No pain when you trade with Hurt.
Everybody wants to feel good about their pharmacy, but in the quest for good health, price does become a factor. In Glasgow, we have a pharmacy that has been able to combine customer service with the lowest possible price day in and day out. That pharmacy is Park Avenue Pharmacy. Ask your friends. They'll tell you that when comparing the price of prescription drugs time and time again, Park Avenue Pharmacy is the lowest price. And with full-time pharmacists and friendly faces you know, you should request the prescriptions be filled at Park Avenue Pharmacy. Park Avenue Pharmacy is located in the Park Avenue Shopping Center, easy to get to from anywhere. Phone 651-5156. You can get low prices and full service. Simply trust Park Avenue Pharmacy in Glasgow.
Good morning. It's Thursday, July 7th, 2022. Welcome into WCLU Local News. We're looking at a temperature now of 75 degrees, 613 this morning. As you've already heard this morning, another warm day in store. Looks like the temperatures are not really going anywhere. They've been quite hot the last few days. Luckily, we have had some pop-up showers over the last little bit, though, and that seems to have not really done much, at least. It just sort of added more humidity to the air, it seems, and it's just sticky out there is the best way to describe that. A high near 92 today, but those heat index values are still going to be the concern. 105 today, so keep that in mind, and that looks like it's going to be the reason why Hart County has been added to the list of counties that have now declared a burn ban. Hart County Judge Executive Joe Choate declared that emergency burn ban yesterday afternoon, and that ban was issued because of the fact that it's just so dry in Hart County, and that is exactly why Barron County has a burn ban in place as well. Warren County, all of the counties around the Barron County corridor, if you will, they are all in a burn ban mostly, and that's just because of the excessive drought conditions that are existing, and of course those are all through the state, and that's making things prone to burning especially, so keep that in mind. Do not be burning anything because of the fact that there's going to be potential that it's simply going to ignite and go from there. Speaking of fires, a community landmark has been destroyed by fire. Historic historic Richardson Field inside Glasgow's Gorin Park went up in flames earlier in the morning. Authorities haven't released any details as to the origin of this fire, but the wooden bleachers and stadium are destroyed. Fire crews got the call around 1:45 this morning, and more details will be forthcoming, but we do know that Gorin Park will be closed today and possibly on Friday. So keep that in mind. Perhaps you're waking up and seeing that on social media. There have been some photos circulating of Gorin Park's Richardson Field there. It is completely engulfed in flames earlier this morning, about 1:45. Glasgow fire crews responding to that to mitigate the issue. A series of indictments were issued by a Barron County grand jury on June 15th. Now, remember that an indictment is an accusation only. Innocence or guilt is only proven in a court of law, and of course, this is just the first step in the criminal proceedings. Now, we'll only be reading a few of those of a completed list that is available at WCLUradio.com. 34-year-old Benito R. Castro of Glasgow was indicted on charges relating to third-degree rape. A Glasgow woman, 34-year-old Tiffany Stilts, was indicted on charges relating to second-degree arson and second-degree persistent felony offender. 30-year-old Ferlin Bargo of Glasgow was indicted on charges relating to second-degree strangulation, second-degree criminal abuse of a child 12 or under, and fourth-degree assault domestic violence. 43-year-old Jerry Lee England of Cave City was indicted on charges relating to second-degree forgery and first-degree persistent felony offender. 21-year-old Zachary W. Driver of Glasgow was indicted on charges relating to trafficking in financial information, fraudulent use of a credit or debit card, $10,000 or more, and theft or receipt of a stolen credit or debit card. And on that same indictment is 31-year-old Savannah Hillard of Bowling Green, who was indicted on charges relating to fraudulent use of a credit or debit card, $10,000 or more, and second-degree persistent felony offender. 27-year-old Michael Gross of Glasgow was indicted on charges relating to second-degree burglary, theft by unlawful taking or disposition, first-degree promoting contraband, and public intoxication. And finally, today, 45-year-old Dell Reasoner of Burkesville was indicted on charges relating to theft by unlawful taking or disposition, $10,000 or more, but under $1 million. Now, we do want to make a note about these indictments. Of course, a grand jury regularly meets here in Barron County about once a month, and that's usually somewhere about the mid-month mark. So, of course, like we just said, this jury met on June 15th, and they will indict generally criminal cases that are as recent as the end of the preceding month, or, of course, things that they have to indict from months back. What that means is when our newsroom receives these indictments, we usually are not able to get those out to the public until a little bit later on, because the prosecutor's office obviously is doing those indictments about the mid-month and sends those even later, because sometimes those indictment warrants, as they're called, are issued, and of course folks have to be served those warrants before that information is generally made public. So again, remember about all of the different things going on in the area to do with the heat. You know, we've mentioned to you a little bit about pets and children. You know, those are two of the most populated categories of things that are left in vehicles, and that is not a good thing, of course, in this heat. And we've talked to you about how vehicles are going to be increasing temperature in minutes. They really do. And so in 105-degree heat index temperatures, that is not a good thing when things are left in the vehicle at any rate. But keep that in mind. If you're the AAA recommends that if you are in a vehicle and you need to remember to get in that back seat, to look back there, they recommend you put something that you absolutely need. Maybe that's your purse, maybe that's keys, maybe that's a briefcase, something of that likeness that you would be able to get back there and say, hey, I need that. And then of course you can get that and not worry about leaving anything in the car like a child or a pet either. And then remember to stay hydrated. If you're outdoors and you're working or anything like that, you need to be hydrated. Stay in a cool place and be sure to always check on your neighbors, of course. This heat is no joke, as some folks have said, and that is true because, again, you will dry out pretty quickly. The governor is expected to hold a Team Kentucky update today. That's going to be held at 11:15 this morning, and that is Central Time. That'll be 12:15 Eastern Time there in Frankfort. The governor will update Kentuckians on a variety of topics, which include economic development and infrastructure improvements. Now, of course, that's going to be broadcasted from the Kentucky State Capitol in Frankfort, or you can get on there on the governor's Facebook page or YouTube page, and you can watch that press conference live. 619 and 75 degrees. Hang right there. We'll be right back.
Have you heard about the new online home for the Glasgow EPB? Well, it isn't just a new-looking website. It's a whole new way to manage your Glasgow EPB services. At the all-new GlasgowEPB.com, you can take care of paying your bill online like always, but you can also request or transfer your Glasgow EPB services, access customer support guides, easily sign up for GEPB alerts, and learn about all available products and programs. So check it out today, GlasgowEPB.com.
It's a home that's as pretty as its address is, 108 Love Street in Glasgow, and it'll be sold at auction this Saturday morning. Yes, it's a don't-miss opportunity this Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Elmore Realty and Auction is honored to sell this excellent home, and tons of personal property, too. This is a 3-bedroom home with 1.5 baths, 1,500 square feet with a full walkout basement, large eat-in kitchen, formal living room, den and study, spacious dining room, hardwood flooring and carpet with plenty of storage in a private backyard. Personal property includes antiques, glassware, vintage toys, collectibles, Coca-Cola items, tools, and so much more. Go online at elmoreauction.com for great photos of these items to be sold and lots of surprises, too. It's at 10 a.m. this Saturday morning, 108 Love Street in Glasgow. Sold by the auction specialist at Elmore Auction, Dakota Ray Elmore, principal auctioneer.
So, what is the perfect restaurant? Is it a place where the people are doing what they love and serving what you love? If that's the case, you're gonna love a little taste of Texas. It's a place where good friends meet for great food, all at an affordable price, and hand-cut steaks that have quite the reputation around here for being the finest steaks in town. It's everything you could want in your favorite hometown restaurant, a little taste of Texas.
Welcome back into WCLU Local News here on this Thursday, July 7th, 621, 75 degrees this morning, and you've likely walked outside maybe and felt the fact that it's a little sticky. That humidity is going to linger, and the temperatures are going to stay really where they've been the last few days, and that is with heat index values climbing to 105 today. And looks like our dry air temperature about 92 degrees, partly sunny today. Showers and thunderstorms are likely. That's mainly going to be between 3 and 5 this afternoon. Tonight, a chance of showers again, and looks like chance of precip is going to be about 30%. So it looks like we're probably going to receive some rain today with a 60% chance, but still it's going to be warm out there, which again, heed those warnings that you're hearing about. And again, certainly make sure that you're not burning anything outdoors because the ground is really dry and does not take long for things to ignite. The Kentucky Teacher Hall of Fame at Western Kentucky University is accepting nominations for this year's class. The Hall of Fame was established in 2000 with a gift from former Governor Louis B. Nunn. The university says it recognizes educators from around the state who positively impact the teaching profession and their students. The induction ceremony will be in November, and all nominations must be submitted by August 15th. More information is available at the Hall of Fame website. A Tennessee man who was convicted in 2 stabbing deaths outside a bar in 2019 has been sentenced to life in prison. News outlets report Davidson County Criminal Court Judge Angelita Dalton sentenced Michael Mosley on Wednesday to 2 consecutive life sentences, as well as a 40-year sentence for attempted murder and a year for assault. Mosley was convicted of first-degree murder in March in the stabbing deaths. College students Clayton Bethard and Paul Trapani III were killed December 21st, 2019. Bethard was the brother of NFL quarterback C.J. Bethard and musician Tucker Bethard. Trapani was a student at Rhodes College in Memphis. Attorneys for Kentucky's 2 abortion clinics are seeking an injunction to block the state's near-total abortion ban. A Louisville judge issued a temporary restraining order blocking the state's abortion ban last week. The clinics are asking Circuit Judge Mitch Perry to issue an injunction request, which would halt the state law while this case is litigated. The 2 Louisville clinics resumed performing abortions after Perry issued the restraining order last week, and Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron appealed the restraining order to the state's appeals court, but the Kentucky Supreme Court Tuesday night rejected Cameron's appeal. And finally today, Governor Bill Lee of Tennessee is refusing to rebut recently revealed remarks made by a charter school president who claimed that teachers are trained in the dumbest parts of the dumbest colleges during a reception the Republican attended. Instead, Lee on Wednesday praised Tennessee's educators and argued that the comments from Hillsdale College president Larry Arnn were criticizing activism from the left. Lee has been on the defense after WTVF-TV published footage last week of Arnn and the governor at a private reception showing the Michigan-based conservative college president making disparaging remarks about public school teachers. Left-wing activism was not mentioned or discussed in the clips released by the news station. 6:25 on the dot, 75 degrees. Again, that fire there on Gorin Park, or at Gorin Park, that has completely been devastating to that area there, and that is, of course, going to be closed today. And if you're just tuning in, that is the historic Richardson Field up in flames this morning, about 1:45. Local authorities responding to that, and we understand that Gorin Park is going to be closed today and possibly tomorrow, and that's coming from the Glasgow Parks and Rec Facebook page. Just recently they have posted that. They said that they will be closing that today, and it is dangerous to be around Gorin Park. So if you're driving through that area, just be aware that there are going to be officials there likely, and you will not be allowed inside Gorin Park due to the fact that there has been a major fire overnight. Have a great Thursday.
News, weather, sports, and more. Weekdays on Good Morning Live and Local on WCLU at WCLUradio.com and Facebook.
This is the Kentucky News Network. 2 Owensboro juveniles are facing several charges after a traffic stop revealed the pair wearing ski masks and packing weapons. Owensboro police pulling the car over Monday for a violation and found the 2 in possession of fireworks and 2 loaded handguns. One of the juveniles fled the scene on foot but was quickly caught, the other taken into custody without incident. Both are being held at the Warren Regional Juvenile Detention Center. Bowling Green police posting photos of 2 suspects believed involved in a theft ring. Jasmine Maradovic and Ismena Music are wanted for their involvement in the thefts of Cadillac converters stolen from vehicles at businesses and homes. That investigation has been going on for about a year. 6 people have been indicted, but Music and Maradovic currently have active warrants. A person is recovering after being rescued from the Ohio River following an apparent suicide attempt. Officials say the person jumped from the southbound Twin Bridge in Henderson earlier this week. The discovery of a nearly 5-foot alligator in Big Laurel leads to the arrest of a man this week for transporting and possessing a dangerous exotic animal. Cameron Cornett facing those charges and more after a tip last month led Kentucky wildlife officials to search a creek where they spotted the alligator. When officials left to get equipment to catch the reptile, a relative of Cornett's caught that alligator and killed it. Wildlife officers seizing the gator's remain and citing Cornett. The need is critical. Officials with the Warren County Public Schools say there is a big need for bus drivers this upcoming 2022-2023 school year. There has been a national bus driver shortage, and now Warren County is feeling the pinch. There is a $2,500 signing bonus for those with a commercial driver's license. Drivers in Warren County need only to work 20 hours a week to be considered full-time. I'm Rob Carpenter. This is the Kentucky News Network.
Why? Just think about it. Why is the #1 selling brand of chainsaws not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot? We can give you over 10,000 reasons. That's how many authorized local steel dealers you can find across the country. Visit one and you'll find a range of dependable gas and battery-powered tools, from trimmers to blowers. And you'll find service from experienced professionals. Real steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know.
They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach, and why over 10,000 local steel dealers are putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Just 3 words: made in America. Real steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. The majority of steel products sold in America are made in America of U.S.
In my family, I'm the planner. From the weekly grocery list to the family vacation, everything, all the details. Though planning for the end was something I left off my list. Then a friend told me about South Central Kentucky Monuments in Glasgow. She said even though it wasn't on her to-do list, seeing them was one of the best planning decisions she'd ever made. South Central Kentucky Monuments showed her the different options they have available, even an image of the finished monument. And since South Central Kentucky Monuments does all the stone carving in-house, it cost much less than she expected. They made the process easy to create the exact memorials she wanted. So my husband and I made a plan to see them. We are so happy with our decision. We encouraged our family and friends to do the same. It'll be the best planning decision you ever make.
Buy direct and save money at South Central Kentucky Monuments at the corner of East Front Street and Columbia Avenue. Family owned in Glasgow since 2010.
For over 25 years, Window World has provided quality products for homeowners around the country. Every window we sell is custom made for optimal energy efficiency and superior durability. Plus, a vinyl finish means they will never need painting. Just like our windows, entry doors from Window World are made to last, featuring a durable composite frame that will never rot. When it comes time to replace your windows or doors, trust Window World. Call 270-780-9600.
You're listening to Good Morning Live on WCLU. It is 6:30 and 77 degrees. In area funeral announcements this hour, Lexus Chantel Massey Wilson, age 23, of Litchfield, died Wednesday. The Litchfield native was a homemaker and a graduate of Edmonson County High School. At the age of 12, she was saved at Green Meadows United Baptist Church. Lexus was a loving mother, daughter, and sister. Lexus leaves to honor her memory her parents, Eureka Alexander and Todd Lindsay of Sweden, and Ray Massey of Shadyland. Her children, Keona Wilson, Aliana Wilson, Graydon Wilson, and Elizabeth Wilson. A grandfather, William Cook of Poplar Springs. A grandmother, Donna Shader of Bowling Green. Sisters, Ashlyn Massey of Bowling Green and Cassidy Cook of Sweden. She also leaves 2 bonus sisters, Cheyenne Lindsay of Sweden and Jessica Locke of Cedar Springs. The funeral for Lexus Wilson will be at 2 o'clock Saturday at the Grayville Funeral Home. Burial to follow in the Poplar Springs Cemetery. Visitation begins at 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon and continues at 10 on Saturday morning. Marilyn Morlane Brents, age 67, formerly of Hart County, died Monday in Moorhead. She was a member of the Allen Seminary Baptist Church, where she sang in the mass choir and worked on the kitchen committee. She is survived by her husband, Robert Brents, 2 daughters, Raven Ford and Keisha Brents, 2 grandchildren, Haven and Kelby Ford, 4 sisters, Linda Beecham, Wanda Young, Kenna Mitchell, and Angela Driver, a brother, Cliff Bradley. The service for Marilyn Brents will be at 1 o'clock Friday at Brooks Funeral Home. Burial to follow in the Allen Seminary Baptist Church Cemetery. Visitation begins at 10 o'clock until the funeral hour on Saturday. Betty Jean Coomer, age 71, of Edmonton, died Tuesday at her residence. She was employed at Sumitomo for 25 years and was a member of the Society Hill Missionary Baptist Church. Betty is survived by her husband, Billy Coomer, a daughter, Lisa Rutherford, 2 sons, Greg and Donnie Coomer, 1 sister, Nona Murphy, 2 brothers, David and Jerry Wilson, 7 grandchildren, Dakota Rigsby, Taylor Welchel, Cassie Matthews, Kara Bowles, and Kyle, Tyler, and Emma Coomer. 7 great-grandchildren survive as well. The service for Betty Jean Coomer will be Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock in the Big Creek Missionary Baptist Church. Burial to follow in the Coomer Cemetery. Visitation will be today at 4 o'clock until 8 o'clock at McMurtry Funeral Home, continuing Friday from 10 until the funeral hour. Donations can be made to the Coomer Cemetery. Clyde Alexander Mosley Jr., 95, died Saturday at Pretty Manor Assisted Living in North Carolina. Clyde attended the University of Louisville and worked at Struck Construction Company, Brico Industries, Gray Construction Company, Ernest Simpson Construction Company, Wilson Covington Construction, and Motzinger Concrete Company before retiring at 82 years of age. Clyde was also an accomplished woodworker. He enjoyed the outdoors and camping with his family. He also was a member of the Gideons International and Stevens Ministries through the Home Moravian Church. Clyde was a veteran of both World War II and the Korean conflict, serving in the U.S. Navy. He is survived by his wife, Anist Elizabeth Tucker Mosley, 3 daughters, Juliana Gill, Christine Terry, and Suzanne Vincent, 2 grandchildren, Andrew and David Gill, 1 great-granddaughter, Lorelei Gill. A graveside service with military honors for Clyde Mosley, Jr. will be held at the Salem Moravian Graveyard today at 11 o'clock. Memorials can be made to Gideons International or to the Home Moravian Church of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Funeral services for Samuel Holder, age 78, of the Bug Tussle community, will be conducted at 11 o'clock Friday morning at Bartley & Sons Camellia Chapel. Burial to follow in the Acresville Cemetery. Visitation begins this afternoon and continues until 8 o'clock tonight, resuming Friday morning after 8 o'clock for the services. Service for Lloyd Bartley, 87, of Tompkinsville, will be today at 3 at the Bartley & Sons Funeral Home, interment at the Mount Gilead Cemetery. Visitation continues today until the time for service. Service for Tim Thomas, 58, of Nobob, will take place at 1 o'clock today at McMurtry Funeral Home. Burial in the Bethlehem Cemetery. Visitation begins this morning at 10. Service for Louise Carroll, 94, of Canmer, will be today at 1 o'clock at the Pearl Webb Cemetery in Canmer. Visitation begins this morning at 9 o'clock. Brooks Funeral Home is in charge. Services for Dolores Sullivan, 89, will be at 11 o'clock today at the Chapel of the Seagull Funeral Home. Burial in the Caswell Cemetery. Visitation this morning after 9 o'clock. Obituary information is available 24 hours a day free at WCLUradio.com and on the WCLU app. No login is necessary.
When we lost Frank, we lost a good friend. Father, husband, colleague, and coach. He meant a lot to all of us. Today, we had a chance to tell him that.
When someone close to you passes on, you want to commemorate their life in a special way. That's why individual requests are such an important part of our funeral services. We strive to meet your specific needs for the most fitting service for your loved ones. A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, a celebration of love.
This WCLU weather update brought to you by Southern States.
One thing's for sure, seasons do change. We might not be able to predict the date of the next cold snap, but at Southern States, in business since 1923, we've seen some patterns. We're ready to fill your tanks and make sure you won't be chilled out by the seasonal changes. Southern States is ready to help you with seed and fertilizer for your pastures and your home lawns. We just love helping our customers prepare for the next season. We're Southern States, 300 Sampson Street in Glasgow. In the WCLU Forecast Center for today, first things first, we have an extreme heat advisory. You know what that's about. You've actually experienced it, and we're going to experience more of it today. Showers and thunderstorms likely this afternoon. Sunny and hot. 94 is what the thermometer is going to read, but it's going to feel like 103. Tonight, a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, cloudy, low 74. Rain chance increases on Friday to 60%, the high of 93. Friday night, rain chance remains at 60% and a low of 72. Saturday, a 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Notably, the high temperature for Saturday is only 87 degrees. Barometer's down at 29.97. We had one tick in the rain gauge in the last 24 hours here. We had a little, if you're under the right cloud, you got that little thunder boom there. 96% humidity and not much wind at all, southeast at a mile an hour. I mentioned earlier this morning, if you were over in Burkesville, you got a quarter of an inch of rain yesterday afternoon. If you're up in Hodgenville, you got 6100s. If you're all the way up on the river at Carrollton, you got almost an inch and a quarter. But there's not much in between. It just depends on the cloud you choose to stand under, and it doesn't last long then. 77 WCLU weather update brought to you by Southern States Glasgow Cooperative. Let's check out Ag News this morning.
Recent railroad disruptions have had an impact on certain agriculture railroad shipments. Hello, I'm Kellen Havikin with Ag Headline News on Brownfield. Mike Steenhook with the Soy Transportation Coalition tells Brownfield a temporary BNSF embargo affected producers.
Ability to have viable livestock sector, whether it's in California or the Southwest or the Southeast, the South Central portion of the country, so much of those animals are fed grain and produced in the Midwest.
More news is next.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota LO1 series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota LO1 series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
See your local dealer, J&J Sales, on West Main Street in Glasgow.
Mow, dig, haul, lift. The versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor does it all. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
See your local dealer, J&J Sales, on West Main Street in Glasgow.
U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota says she has several priorities for the 2023 Farm Bill.
Keeping the safety net in place, the disaster relief, we saw that full-fledged with the weather problems we had in the last year, but looking at more permanent disaster relief, making sure that we are responding to the avian flu.
South Dakota farmer Dave Ellens tells Brownfield the storms that moved through the state Tuesday brought much-needed rain.
I wouldn't say that the corn crop or the bean crop was going backwards, but we were not by any means setting any records out here, with the conditions we had.
Southeast Nebraska farmer and Nebraska Director of Agriculture Steve Wellman says he's wrapped up winter wheat harvest.
And it was okay. It was above average, I would say, but it could have been better, but I think we missed out on just having any moisture to speak of over the winter time. That certainly would have helped our wheat production.
He says his average yield was around 65 bushels an acre. I'm Kellen Havikin on Brownfield Ag News.
Hello, everyone. This is Joe and Rachel Dotson from Best One Tire in Glasgow.
We wanted to personally thank you for supporting our tire and repair business at 100 Shawn Lane.
Many of our customers come to us for ag and truck tire, but did you know we are capable of serving any size car or pickup?
With over 300 stores behind us, our buying power means we can pass on to you the very best pricing in our area.
We have many tires and tubes in stock, and we can do alignments on just about anything that rolls.
I was raised in Metcalfe County. After being away for a few years, Joe and I brought our family back to the area, and nothing brings us greater pleasure than servicing our neighbors when they are broke down in the field or on the road. We are here for you. We want to help you by taking the stress out of buying your next tires. We will work with any budget, anytime.
Come in and find out why we are the fastest growing tire company in Glasgow. We love this business. We love this town. Pretty soon you will be coming to our new store out on Highway 90 right here in Glasgow.
Best One Tire and Service, creating one raving fan at a time.
Hey, great ag report this morning from Brownfield is made possible by Best One Tire and by J&J Sales. Good to keep up on the very latest in news from the world of...
You're now up to date with WCL
Agriculture. Well, you're up to date on whatever you're up to date on there. Birthdays is where we're going right now. Let's get up to date on birthdays. For this 7th day of July, like Cassie Traylor, she is 39 today. Joyce Driver is 71. Big birthday for Stacy Hammer. Bonnie Riggs is 65. Clinton Powell is 67. Miss Cassie Edwards has a birthday today. Gina Newberry. Jerry Reinhardt. Chad Williams. Kathy Kingery. Lindsay Lloyd has a birthday today, too. I believe it's all birthdays. Let's see here. No anniversaries yet, but we got room on the paper for it. 651-914-9800-956-1023. And online here from WCLUradio.com. We're ready for you. Today it is Chad Williams Day on the radio. If you happen to see Chad Williams around town, he's a good fella. Pat him on the back. Remind him he's as good as gold from his friends here at WCLU and a little taste of Texas. We appreciate that indeed. 643 WCLU. Good morning.
Andersen windows and doors with Stormwatch protection are designed to meet building codes for coastal locations from Maine to Miami, Gainesville to Galveston, and they're on guard even when no one is home. Andersen windows and doors with Stormwatch protection. The uglier the weather gets, the more beautiful they become.
See the full line of Andersen windows and doors at Glasgow Building Supply, 31E Bypass in Glasgow. Andersen Windows. Come home to Andersen.
Well, today is Thursday, and one of the big things that means is that the Barefoot Farmer of Finney is going to be set up selling all of his harvest right down there in the parking lot of Wyatt Service Station on South Green Street. Got a neat wagon down there where all the wares are displayed very, very nicely, and a lot of folks are taking advantage of that already, getting a good crowd coming down there. You know, stuff's coming in left and right, and Bodie, the Barefoot Farmer of Finney, has been really working hard to make sure that what he has down there is certainly what you're looking for, and that's what I'm hearing from everybody. You know, Bodie is a sophomore at Barron County High School. He's 15. He lives on a small farm, and he's growing his garden when school went all virtual, so that kind of got him started on that. But anyway, now he's just quite the farmer, the Barefoot Farmer of Finney. The big news is today he is going to be down at Wyatt's from 9 until 5. And if you're wanting locally grown vegetables, stop by and see Bodie, the Barefoot Farmer of Finney. Going to be there 9 to 5 today. Put that on your list of things to get done. It's important that we take time to go back and appreciate how we got here. It's the archives here on WCLU, made possible by Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services. History is made by the hard work that stands the test of time. Sam Terry, speaking of hard-working fellas, is going to join us in just a second.
When there's work to be done, you get to it. And Joseph A. Wade Incorporated is here to help. They repair and make hydraulic hoses and repair hydraulic cylinders. If there's a problem, the Joseph A. Wade hydraulic team will help you find a solution. They're also a distributor for Croyle products. Plus, black and orange nitrile gloves are back in stock. Locally owned and operated, Joseph A. Wade Incorporated. Here to help since 1985. Located in the curve of Industrial Drive in Glasgow.
All right, Sam Terry is here this morning. Hey, Sam, how you doing, sir?
I'm well. How are you?
And it's good to talk to you. And you and I both agree in the brief time we've had to get started here that we got some good stuff today, don't we?
We certainly do.
This very first story from 100 years ago today, I am enjoying painting a picture in my mind of this story. 100 years ago today in the Glasgow Republican, the news is that Mr. L.E. Pitcock came in the other day in a Ford Roadster with a good-sized Jersey cow on the back end. He loaded the cow 5 miles beyond Tompkinsville, and he said the road to Tompkinsville was as bad as roads get, and several times the running boards dipped into the mud. From Tompkinsville here, the road was all right, and the cow was on the machine a little more than 2 hours. Now, we've heard of hogs and sheep and various other items from fertilizer up and down being carried in a Ford, but this is the first time we have known a full-size cow to be taken 30-odd miles in a Ford with an ordinary body. Now, you think they're talking about the cow's body or the Ford's body?
I believe it's the Ford.
Okay, so it's just an ordinary. So it's an ordinary. So okay, we got a Ford Roadster. Is that the kind that had a rumble seat? You think?
That would be correct.
So the cow was kind of like back there with the rumble seat.
That's the picture in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I've been drawing that picture too.
I've contemplated this a few days.
That's right. I'm saying, you know, you got to give it to the Ford if it can drive through the mud with a cow in the back seat. You know, that showed the horsepower, so to speak, of it. But nonetheless, that's history. 100 years ago today, somebody hauled a cow to town in something motorized, from Tompkinsville at least, and made it through the mud and everything else. So you can see how far we've come, Sam.
Absolutely.
I don't know who rode in the seat next after the cow got out. I wouldn't enjoy that much. Okay, this is a neat story out of 1932. You know, we had a few conversations back several weeks ago about how that the finances of community hospital were being looked at. Times are a little bit tough, and of course the hospital was about 3 years old, and you know, they were really digging to try to keep things going. But in 1932, the Glasgow Times reported a news story about the Burkesville newspaper, saying the hospital means much to humanity. So the story is here from 1932. The Cumberland County Herald of Burkesville recently carried the following notice regarding the community hospital. Quote, "We regret very much the probability of the community hospital at Glasgow closing in the near future. It has done more for Cumberland County, saved more lives, alleviated more suffering, and made possible visits of the family of loved ones who were sick and suffering, given free treatment to all deserving cases, and put skilled surgery within reach of our citizenship who have hitherto been denied what a well-equipped hospital could give. Barron County has done her share, but could not shoulder the burden for Cumberland, Metcalfe, Monroe, Allen, Hart, Greene, and other counties who are tributaries to it." So that's a pretty good endorsement right there out of the Burkesville newspaper in 1932, Sam, you know?
It certainly is, but it also has a dire message in it that the hospital was really in trouble.
Indeed. And you know we never had a hospital before, and we had lots of folks to kind of try to help out with the Commonwealth Fund, etc. But we'll see over the next several days that there are really some difficult times in the history of the hospital for sure. But I know that everybody appreciated the Burkesville newspaper writing that story. Very sincere. 1942, the Glasgow Republican reported that Irvin Houchins bought the W.J. Dossey home on West Cherry Street for $2,425 in an auction conducted by Gooden and Neely. One lot was sold to Joe Metter for $45, and 6 others were sold to Clayton Simmons for $246. The Dosseys' many friends in Glasgow will regret seeing these good people leave Glasgow, and will look forward to the time when they decide to relocate among us. That is interesting to see that, you know, the way the story is kind of written, because this is 1942, in the early years of Mr. Irvin Houchins building his, what some folks would describe as an empire. But really the story is, hey, Irvin bought the house. We're just sorry to see these people leave, you know. The story kind of ends different than what I thought it was going to be. Didn't you think that, Sam?
Well, it is, and it's also interesting to realize in 1942 there were at least 7 building lots without houses on them.
Can you believe that? Yeah, that is.
And now that's densely populated, and of course many of us remember the Simmons family living there for many years. So this gives us a little insight to all of that.
That's right. It was the news of the day in 1942. All right, 1952. Guess what? That Scotsman was still in town, Sam. This fellow that we've talked about in several news stories. And the headline here in 1952 in the Glasgow Times, listen carefully, Glasgow's court is lenient on Scott's driving mistake. Huh? From far from his native heath, a Scotland youth found Glasgow, Kentucky, the best place in the world to be nabbed on a reckless driving charge. The count was dismissed against Scotsman Andrew Hamilton, aged 28, by Judge James Gillenwater. He was arrested the night before on the public square after speeding around a truck. Colorfully dressed in kilts and a tie of his own clan, and wearing the traditional leather sporran around his waist, Hamilton told the court in a rich brogue of taking a bonny lass to her home near Glasgow and then speeding up because it was so late. Judge Gillenwater and City Attorney George J. Ellis Jr. agreed to the dismissal because, and get this one, because Hamilton was without constitutional rights in an American court. He was defended before a packed courthouse attracted by the unusual case. In appreciation, Hamilton sang a Scotch drinking song, I Belong to Glasgow, which I have a copy of that somewhere around here being sung by Colin Grant Adams. But anyway, he also sang the ballad Roman in the Gloamin' for the big crowd, too. He was presented with a copy of the citation and the court proceedings by police clerk Jack Watkins as a souvenir. This guy, anybody who was brought in on reckless driving for a couple of years had something to gripe about, I think, based on the way that they probably were treated compared to this Andrew Hamilton fellow right here.
Certainly, and for those who recall the photograph that we had of Mr. Hamilton and all of these court officials a couple of weeks ago, this is exactly what was happening. Right. In that it was a photograph made at the end of the so-called hearing where all of this was dismissed and all the folks involved in that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm not so sure that they found him not guilty because he didn't have a constitution to protect him here. I'm thinking he kind of needs to behave under our constitution when he's here. But nonetheless, it's interesting indeed.
Well, and it's really all the makings of a great episode of Andy Griffith.
There's no question about it.
You could imagine all of these things taking place.
That's right.
It's perfectly in Mayberry.
And I can see Barney up there mad because they weren't throwing the book at him just because he was from Scotland, you know. But that would just be my take on that nonetheless. 1952 it was. What did he say here? Let me get the quote right here. He was... in a rich brogue, he was taking a bonny lass to her home. All right. Let's go to 1962. Let's get some home names here. The representatives of the 5 bowling teams that finished highest in the individual games during the tournament held at Park Avenue Lanes on Sunday were in a big photo in the Glasgow Times. The men included Jim Goad, Arnold Flowers, Ralph Lowe, Frank Glasser, Clifton Carey, Joe Billy Jones, Johnny Taylor, Neil Bishop, Bill Hogue, and Wendell Gwynn. 1962. You know, we have Glasgow's always had an excellent reputation for having excellent bowlers, and I think that was identified there in that 1962 article, Sam. Some big names here in 1972, introduced by Citizens Bank. Harold Matthews and Don Barrickman this day joined the Citizens Bank staff as the trust officer and the controller, respectively. 2 excellent gentlemen right there who made a difference starting in 1972.
They certainly are, and had a great career at Citizens National Bank.
1982, Miss Reva Brown, a local artist who draws and paints with her feet, was the guest speaker for the local BNPW meeting. Always a pleasure to hear speak, and quite the talented lady Miss Reva Brown was, and I know the BNPW folks enjoyed her visit there in 1982, Sam. 1992, following this is a story, by the way, is in the Barron County. No, this is in the Glasgow Times. Following many months of planning and work, the city of Glasgow has received approval for operation of a contained landfill. You know, it's interesting to think back that the days that we didn't have a landfill hadn't been all that long ago, Sam. And the forethought to develop this landfill has made a difference, you know. Of course, you don't remember this, but I remember driving out on the Tompkinsville Road to the dump, and that's what it was, a dump. Pull in, dump it. And from an environmental standpoint, that was horrendous. But it's what we had, you know.
It certainly was, and this is a great advancement and was a tremendous undertaking, and took a lot of planning and creative ideas and financial prowess to figure out how to make all of this work.
It's a big operation to this day, and always regulations are changing and ways of doing things are changing. And I'm tickled that our community was on the forefront of developing new ways to deal with waste. 2002, this story in the Barron County Progress, this was the day that Judge Tom Emberton was sworn in as the Chief Judge of the Kentucky Court of Appeals. That was a very big accolade and assignment for Judge Tom Emberton there in 2002. And a little hang-up here. 10 years ago, the Barron County Progress reported that asbestos delays the Glasgow High School demolition. You know, we have, from an environmental standpoint, been very careful about removing asbestos, identifying where it is, and taking care of it properly. And they were having to slow down a little bit 10 years ago to get that done out of the, at the time, new Glasgow High School. What about that for a variety of news items we have here in the place we call home, Sam?
Everything from a reckless driving Scotsman to a cow on the back of a roadster.
That's right. The cow on the roadster. I think, I need to get the cow's take on that, But nonetheless, and hey, the guy the court was found not guilty and sang a couple of Scottish drinking songs. You just got to appreciate the heritage we have around here for sure, sir. And I really appreciate. Go ahead. And I really appreciate your input into this and all the wisdom you bring along with it. Let's try again tomorrow. You want to?
I'll look forward to that.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Sam Terry, well-known historian, brings the rest of the story every day to the archives. Brought to you by Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services.
Highland Pharmacy on Rogers Road in Glasgow has been a community favorite since 2012, and there's a reason for that. They consistently offer a wide range of customized services, quality care, and a commitment to you. Over-the-counter COVID tests are available and can be billed to most insurance carriers. You can also receive the COVID vaccine at Highland Pharmacy. Register at highland-pharmacy.com. That's highland-pharmacy.com. Highland Pharmacy, a community favorite since 2012.
Weather from the WCLU Weather Center. Brought to you by South Central Bank.
When you look around Glasgow and Barron County, you see that South Central Bank's roots run deep. Having served generations of families and supported some of the most significant business growth in the region, we are proud to be a part of this community. For 50 years, our customers have received superior service from South Central Bank, and we remain committed to that. We continue to build relationships that are making an impact on the community we call home. South Central Bank, small enough to know you, big enough to help. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Well, we've got an extreme heat advisory today. Let's be aware of that. Whatever your plans are today, factor in the heat, because no matter where you're going to be, you're going to have to be on the proactive side of staying hydrated and staying cool and paying attention to things around you. Showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, sunny and hot this morning. 94 is the high, but that's on the thermometer. The heat index will make it feel like 103. You know what that's like when it hits you in the face. Tonight, 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, cloudy and 74. 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms Friday and 93. Friday night, showers and thunderstorms likely down to 72. The rain chance is going to be 60%. That increases to 70% on Saturday with a high of 87 degrees. So you see, as we get a little bit more moisture in here, the possibility of a little less temperature extreme is in there too. But we'll take it day by day. 29.97. We got one tick in the rain gauge yesterday, but over in Burkesville they got a quarter of an inch, and up at Hodgenville they got 6,100. So the right cloud got a little moisture, but very quickly it evaporated and it warmed back up no matter where you were. 78 this morning at WCLU. The weather brought to you by South Central Bank.
For over 25 years, Window World has provided quality products for homeowners around the country. Every window we sell is custom made for optimal energy efficiency and superior durability. Plus, a vinyl finish means they will never need painting. Just like our windows, entry doors from Window World are made to last, featuring a durable composite frame that will never rot. When it comes time to replace your windows or doors, trust Window World. Call 270-780-9600.
Simply the best for
It is almost impossible to comprehend the emotional burden involved when making final arrangements and no decisions have been made beforehand. At Hatcher and Sadler Funeral Home, we're trained and experienced at assisting local families making final arrangements in advance. Coming to terms with the loss is difficult enough. Make it easier for your loved ones by making your wishes known. Hatcher and Sadler Funeral Home in Glasgow, serving all with dignity and respect since 1899.
In times of loss, Hatcher and Sadler Funeral Home is by your side. They take great pride in the services they offer, continually upgrading those to serve your needs better. They also can assist you with filing Social Security and insurance papers, as well as filing for veterans benefits. There when you need them since 1899. Hatcher and Sadler Funeral Home at the corner of Happy Valley Road and North Race Street in Glasgow. Thank you for your vote in the Best of Barron contest.
Let me ask you something. What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle, a combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more, because a State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just four walls and four wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve? Call State Farm agent Mike Bryant in Glasgow at 270-651-3608.
A message from the South Green Street Church of Christ.
What's keeping you from giving your life and your time to God? What's keeping you from being really the type of prayerful person you ought to be? Is it because you just feel empty? Maybe you're physically tired. Maybe you're stressed out. Maybe you're discouraged due to something that somebody else has said. Well, our obligation to pray, our obligation to come before God in worship does not change simply because we don't feel like it. Our approach to God is not tied to how we feel. In fact, it's the weak and the heavy laden, the burdened, who so desperately need to come before Jesus Christ. Do you feel just empty? That's the very time to come. This has been Bart Warren for the South Green Street Church of Christ.
Little Caesars presents delicious duos like bacon and eggs, spaghetti and meatballs, and of course peanut butter and jelly. Now, Little Caesars brings you a large, hot and ready slices and sticks. A delicious duo featuring 4 slices of pepperoni pizza, together with 8 tasty slices of Italian cheese sticks, plus crazy sauce for only $6. Little Caesars hot and ready slices and sticks is just $6. Available every day when you walk in between 4 and 8 at Little Caesars.
Pizza. At participating locations plus tax. Prices may vary.
All right, 78 degrees, WCLU. Before we get into trivia, I got to tell you about my buddy Luke Carter. Yes, Luke Carter is 14 today. Let's say happy birthday to Mr. Luke Carter today. Now, when you hear that Little Caesars commercial, you know it's time to play trivia, and I'm going to ask the question. You provide the answer. Little Caesars provides the bounty, if you will. 651-9149-800-956-1023. Here we go with a trivia question. If you're in New York City and you go to a store named The Strand, what kind of a store are you shopping in? Okay, we're appealing to travelers here. If you've gone shopping in New York City, you went into a store named The Strand. What kind of a store were you shopping in? Everybody thinks they know. Let's see if in fact they do. Hello, trivia. Hello, trivia.
Purses.
I'm sorry?
Purses.
No, not purses. What kind of a store are you in? What are you shopping for if you're into a famous store in New York City that opened in 1927 called The Strand? Hello, trivia.
How about a bookstore?
That's what it is. Who is this speaking?
This is Terry Jackson.
What are you doing, Terry?
Well, I had a little breakfast and listened to WCLU.
Well, okay, so do you know anything about the history of The Strand?
I've heard of it, but never been to New York. Know anything at all about it.
Well, it's a big bookstore down there. I had the address of it, but it's moved one time since 1927. But the name of that it's fascinating to call the bookstore The Strand. But apparently, if you're traveling to New York City and you want to go to some historic places, then the bookstore there called The Strand is the place to be, Terry. And I'm glad you've heard of it. You might have to read a good book with that pizza, you think?
Well, I could do that. I told my wife I was getting a little low on pizza.
Yeah? Well, build it back up here, all right?
Okay, I sure will.
Hang on, I'll get your address, and we'll send you the coupon, and you can start building up, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Hang on right there. Let me get your address, Terry. Terry Jackson, that's right. It is indeed. The Strand is a famous place in New York City that people go, an historical place. It's a bookstore. Been there since 1927. Visit the Strand. That's trivia for today. Who knows where we'll go tomorrow?
If you suffer from joint pain, from arthritis, or an injury, you already know the traditional treatments. Pain meds and steroids and then surgery, right? Hey, it's Henry Royce with great news from the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. This is an advanced, exciting, and natural alternative that can give you lasting relief using your body's own healing power. Listen, steroid shots are toxic to your joints. Pain meds are addictive and nobody wants to go under the knife. It is 2022 and those old ways are out and the new ways are in. Regenerative medicine can restore and repair damaged joint tissue using the natural biologics. No drugs, no downtime, no surgery. QC Kinetics regenerative protocols can address any pain in any joint and give you the quality of life that you deserve. Call now and schedule your free consultation. 270-974-4500. That's 270-974-4500. QC Kinetics. 270-974-4500. Everyone's time is at a premium. Using time wisely is even a mark on a young student's grade card. Well, at Ely Drugs, we value your time. That's why we have a website that lets you order prescription refills online with a simple click. ElyDrugs.com and click on the icon that says Refill Request. That'll save you tons of time getting the refill, plus making sure you take it on time too. And talk about a time saver. Ely's investment in a new automated filling system means even shorter wait time. Ely Drugs helps you manage your health and your time. ElyDrugs.com.
Good morning from Forever Communications. WCLU Glasgow, W276VO Glasgow, WLLI Muffordville, WLYE Glasgow, W253BN Glasgow. Good morning live.
CBS News special report. Brits are reacting after embattled British Prime Minister Boris Johnson finally agreed to step down.
I think he's made a lot of mistakes, but he's done a lot of good things as well. First Western economy to come out of the pandemic. He's delivered Brexit, which will be to the long-term benefit of the country.
He should have been gone a long time. Overstayed his welcome by a long, long margin.
Johnson is expected to address the country within hours. He's expected to say he'll hold on to power until a new leader is chosen. But as the BBC's Nick Eardley reports, that may not happen.
There are some Tory MPs who are saying to me that they think the Prime Minister needs to go now, that the level of bad blood is so significant that they think that the Prime Minister simply can't hold on for a few more days, weeks or months.
Johnson only agreed to resign after 40 ministers quit his government and told them he had no choice but to step down. CBS News special report. I'm Wendy Gillette.
Get glowing for your wedding day and have picture-perfect skin with the help of the experts at R Plus Med Spa. They prioritize a tailored approach, starting with a complimentary bridal consultation to share any skin concerns you have as you prepare for your big day. This is also perfect for the mother of the bride, the groom, and your bridal party. R Plus Med Spa, 210 Shane Drive in Glasgow. Call 270-651-4SPA and schedule your complimentary bridal consultation today.
Highland Pharmacy on Rogers Road in Glasgow has been a community favorite since 2012, and there's a reason for that. They consistently offer a wide range of customized services, quality care, and a commitment to you. Over-the-counter COVID tests are available and can be billed to most insurance carriers. You can also receive the COVID vaccine at Highland Pharmacy. Register at highland-pharmacy.com. That's highland-pharmacy.com. Highland Pharmacy, a community favorite since 2012.
Good morning. It's Thursday, July 7th, 2022. Time is 7:13, 78 degrees. Welcome into WCLU Local News. I'm Brennan Crane. Well, news developing this morning. Richardson Stadium at Gorin Park, which is home to Glasgow Scotty baseball, was destroyed early Thursday during a fire. The Glasgow Fire Department responded to the fire at 1:45 this morning, according to a 911 activity report from Baron Metcalf Emergency Communications. The park is closed today, and officials speculate it will remain closed tomorrow. Glasgow Parks and Recreation saying in a Facebook post, quote, "Please stay out of the park as it's a danger to be around the stadium area." Now, of course, breakers at the park were recently faulty, according to a source familiar with the matter. The cause of the fire remains unclear, however. No further details were provided about that fire or the incident leading up to that. And, of course, again, we'll continue to follow that, and we'll bring you the most up-to-date information once we receive that. A series of indictments were issued by a Barron County grand jury on June 15th. Remember, an indictment is an accusation only. It is not a formal sentencing of innocence or guilty or anything like that. 34-year-old Benito Castro of Glasgow was indicted on charges relating to third-degree rape. A Glasgow woman, 34-year-old Tiffany Stilts, was indicted on charges relating to second-degree arson and second-degree persistent felony offender. A Glasgow man, Ferlin Bargo, 30, of Glasgow, was indicted on charges relating to second-degree strangulation, second-degree criminal abuse, a child 12 or under, and fourth-degree assault, domestic violence. 43-year-old Jerry England of Cave City was indicted on charges relating to second-degree forgery and first-degree persistent felony offender. A double indictment, 21-year-old Zachary W. Driver of Glasgow was indicted on charges relating to trafficking in financial information, fraudulent use of a credit or debit card, $10,000 or more, and theft and receipt of a stolen credit or debit card. Also on that indictment is 31-year-old Savannah Hillard of Bowling Green. She faces a similar indictment on charges relating to fraudulent use of a credit or debit card, $10,000 or more, and second-degree persistent felony offender. 27-year-old Michael Gross of Glasgow was indicted on charges relating to second-degree burglary, theft by unlawful taking or disposition, first-degree promoting contraband, and public intoxication. And finally, today, a 45-year-old Burkesville man, Dale Reasoner, was indicted on charges relating to theft by unlawful taking or disposition, $10,000 or more, but under $1 million. Well, adding to the counties that have a burn ban now, Hart County Judge Executive Joe Choate has declared an emergency burn ban. That started yesterday in Hart County. The ban was issued sometime Wednesday afternoon, and it bans all open burning due to extraordinary drought conditions experienced in Hart County. No burning except campfires in established campgrounds is allowed. Violations of the burn ban are punishable as a Class A misdemeanor, which carries a penalty of a $500 fine and could be up to a year in jail. Now, several areas, including Barron County, have issued similar bans in response to the drought conditions across the area. And speaking of that matter, today it looks like the heat index is going to be where it was about yesterday, 105 today, which is not really going to feel that much different from the last few days, regardless if it's been a little bit lower. It's plainly going to be hot, and it's going to be humid too, so be aware of that. If you're outdoors today, be sure you're staying in the shade if you can, or take frequent breaks, and please stay hydrated, because that will quickly drain you if you're out working in that hot sun. Now, luckily today there's a 60% chance of showers. Looks like that's going to be happening, though, later this afternoon, about that 3 and 5 o'clock corridor. So that'll be during that afternoon drive time. But luckily, it'll also be right there when it's sort of the hotter part of the day if you're still working outdoors. And don't forget about children in the vehicle. If children are left in vehicles, of course, that can be very disastrous, along with animals. Be sure you're watching out for those as well. Those temperatures inside a vehicle, they really get hot very quickly, especially in these temperatures like this. Be sure, if you're going to be forgetful about that sort of thing, put something in the back seat that you might remember, or something that you need, a phone, your keys, your purse, something like that you might need to get back there and get upon exiting your vehicle. The only thing on the 911 report this morning is that fire that destroyed Richardson Stadium there at Gorin Park. Again, officials have not released any sort of information on that at this point. We don't know the cause of that fire, nor do we know exactly what went on around that, but we do know that it appears to be a total loss. According to some photos that have been posted on social media today, it looks like that fire consumed pretty much every bit of that ballpark there, the bleachers and all of that sort of thing, the press box, all of that appears to be destroyed by a fire that apparently broke out about 1:45 this morning there at Gorin Park. Again, if you're traveling in that area of Glasgow, the Humble Avenue area, the McKenna Street area, be aware that the park is closed today and it will remain closed tomorrow, possibly, according to Glasgow Parks and Recreation. 718 and 78 degrees. Stay right there. We'll be right back for more news.
Most people will hesitate before planning a funeral in advance. The funeral? We'll arrange that when the time comes. But there's a lot to be said for advance planning. For one thing, you have the peace of mind of knowing that your arrangements have all been made. You can consider the options when your mind is clear, and you'll have the relief of knowing that your loved one will be well cared for. A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, a celebration of love.
Healthcare changes all the time, but at Hatchet Home Medical, we're a consistent friend to help you navigate the road to good health. We are your headquarters for all types of equipment and supplies to let you recuperate at home, and we keep up with all the changes. So let us file the paperwork for insurance reimbursement. Hatchet Home Medical's huge showroom and warehouse on Park Avenue in Glasgow lets us stock what you need, and our trained technicians are courteous and helpful when setting up and instructing you or your caretakers. We feature a 24-hour on-call phone number to help in emergencies. And remember, all healthcare professionals, Hatchet's Home Medical has the area's largest selection of nurses' uniforms and supplies, featuring the best of name brands. Whether you need a wheelchair, walker, hospital bed, or other assistive device, the name to remember is Hatchet Home Medical in the Park Avenue Shopping Center in Glasgow. Phone 651-9551.
Welcome back to WCLU Local News, 720 now, 78 degrees. Good morning. Of course, lots of things to go over. First, we want to let you know about the heat advisory that is in effect now until 7 o'clock this evening, and that is because temperatures are going to be hot again today. 105 is the heat index value predicted today. Partly sunny, a high near 92. Chance of precip is 60%, and if you've been looking out on the roof cam here at WCLU, you've likely noticed a little bit of overcast sky toward the eastern sky. It looks like that's cleared out by now, but again, that's going to be mainly 3 and 5 p.m. today that we're going to be seeing some showers. So it'll likely be overcast throughout the day today, but keep that in mind during that afternoon drive time. That's going to be the main time frame where we're going to hopefully see some rain. And we say hopefully because there's drought-like conditions across much of Kentucky, particularly here in the southern Indiana and central portions of Kentucky into the western part. Doesn't look like the far eastern parts of the state are experiencing the same amount of heat, but nonetheless, it's still hot across most of the state. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, a slight chance going through the evening, 30%. 74 degrees will be the low tonight, and that humidity is sticking around, and sticking is the word because it is sticky out there. You've likely noticed when you walk out, your skin feels a little bit more, it's feeling the humidity, if you will. And then tomorrow, it looks like a chance of showers linger around Friday. Heat index tomorrow is going to be 102, so tapering off just a couple of degrees, but nonetheless still warm. Governor Bill Lee of Tennessee is refusing to rebuke recently revealed remarks made by a charter school president who claimed that teachers are trained in the dumbest parts of the dumbest colleges during a reception the Republican attended. Instead, Lee on Wednesday praised Tennessee's educators and argued that the comments from Hillsdale College president Larry Arnn were criticizing activism from the left. Lee has been on the defense after WTVF-TV published footage last week of Arnn and a governor at a private reception showing the Michigan-based conservative college president making disparaging remarks about public school teachers. Left-wing activism was not mentioned or discussed in the clips released by the news station. And in accordance with proclamation from the White House, Governor Andy Beshear in Kentucky has directed that flags at all state office buildings remain lowered to half staff until sunset on Saturday. That's July 9th. Now, of course, you remember the governor issuing a proclamation asking that folks lower their flags to half staff in remembrance of those Floyd County officials that died in that firefight last week. Now, remember that this has been extended now till Saturday evening. So if you do have a flag at your home, or if you have a flag at your business or anything like that, it is asked that you keep that at half staff through Saturday evening in honor and remembrance of the victims of the acts of violence perpetrated on Independence Day in Highland Park, Illinois, that Chicago suburb. Now, the governor encourages individuals, businesses, and organizations throughout the Commonwealth to join in this tribute. Flags statewide are already at half staff, as we just said, and of course, flag information status is always available at governor.ky.gov/flag-status. Attorneys for Kentucky's 2 abortion clinics are seeking an injunction to block the state's near-total abortion ban. A Louisville judge issued a temporary restraining order blocking the state's abortion ban last week. The clinics are asking Circuit Judge Mitch Perry to issue an injunction request, which would halt the state law while the case is litigated. The 2 Louisville clinics resumed performing abortions after Perry issued the restraining order last week. Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron appealed the restraining order to the state's appeals court, but the Kentucky Supreme Court Tuesday night rejected Cameron's appeal. And a Tennessee man who was convicted in 2 stabbing deaths outside a bar in 2019 has been sentenced to life in prison. News outlets report Davidson County Criminal Court Judge Angelita Dalton sentenced Michael Mosley on Wednesday to 2 consecutive life sentences, as well as a 40-year sentence for attempted murder and a year for assault. Mosley was convicted of first-degree murder in March, and the stabbing deaths, college students Clayton Bethard and Paul Trapani III, were killed December 21st, 2019. Bethard was the brother of NFL quarterback C.J. Bethard and musician Tucker Bethard. Trapani was a student at Rhodes College in Memphis. 724, 78 degrees. Again, remember that fire that happened earlier this morning at Gorin Park there, destroying Richardson Stadium. That means that Gorin Park is closed today and possibly tomorrow here in Glasgow. If you're around the area, just be aware emergency personnel will likely be present in that area of Gorin Park in Glasgow due to the fact that a fire has destroyed the baseball stadium there. 725, 78 degrees. Be sure to check us out on the web, WCLUradio.com. Just around the corner, it's Banking on Business.
Paid for by Bar Justice. Attention. Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months? The FDA has warned that Zantac and other medications containing heartburn drug, ranitidine, may be contaminated with cancer-causing agent NDMA. Zantac may be linked to these cancers: bladder, colorectal, esophageal, intestinal, kidney, liver, ovarian, pancreatic, stomach, testicular, and uterine. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months, call now. 800-516-9931. Never stop taking medication without first consulting a physician. Call right now for a free consultation. You may be owed significant compensation. Call 800-516-9931. 800-516-9931. That's 800-516-9931. 800-516-9931.
Banking on Business with Terry Bunnell. Monday and Thursday mornings at 7:30 only on WCLU. Good Morning Live and WCLUradio.com.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Bowling Green police posting photos of 2 suspects believed involved in a theft ring. Jasmine Maradovic and his Meta Music are wanted for their involvement in the thefts of Cadillac converters stolen from vehicles at businesses and homes. That investigation has been going on for about a year. 6 people have been indicted, but Music and Maradovic currently have active warrants. A person is recovering after being rescued from the Ohio River following an apparent suicide attempt. Officials say the person jumped from the southbound Twin Bridge in Henderson earlier this week. 2 Owensboro juveniles are facing several charges after a traffic stop revealed the pair wearing ski masks and packing weapons. Owensboro police pulling the car over Monday for a violation and found the two in possession of fireworks and 2 loaded handguns. One of the juveniles fled the scene on foot but was quickly caught. The other taken into custody without incident. Both are being held at the Warren Regional Juvenile Detention Center. The need is critical. Officials with the Warren County Public Schools say there is a big need for bus drivers this upcoming 2022-2023 school year. There has been a national bus driver shortage, and now Warren County is feeling the pinch. There is a $2,500 signing bonus for those with a commercial driver's license. Drivers in Warren County need only to work 20 hours a week to be considered full-time. The discovery of a nearly 5-foot alligator in Big Laurel leads to the arrest of a man this week for transporting and possessing a dangerous exotic animal. Cameron Cornett facing those charges and more after a tip last month led Kentucky wildlife officials to search a creek where they spotted the alligator. When officials left to get equipment to catch the reptile, a relative of Cornett's caught that alligator and killed it. Wildlife officers seizing the gator's remain and citing Cornett. I'm Rob Carpenter.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Why? Just think about it. Why is the #1 selling brand of chainsaws not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot? We can give you over 10,000 reasons. That's how many authorized local steel dealers you can find across the country. Visit one and you'll find a range of dependable gas and battery-powered tools, from trimmers to blowers. And you'll find service from experienced professionals. Real Steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach, and why over 10,000 local steel dealers are putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Just 3 words. Made in America. Real Steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. The majority of steel products sold in America are made in America of U.S. and foreign materials.
729, 78 degrees. We'll check the forecast in a minute, and we got Banking on Business coming at you just in a second. But I want to remind you about a place that has moved that you're going to really like where they moved. This is the business known as From My Closet to Yours. And My Closet to Yours has moved to a really nice spot right here. Let me tell you about it. The new location is at 202 North Green Street in Glasgow. From My Closet to Yours. Now, that's the old Wyatt's Painting building right down there at the corner of let's see, what is it going to be? It's going to be Front Street and North Green Street right there. It's a really easy place to find. Front Street and North Green. It's a big building. It's the old Wyatt's Painting building, and they're open Monday through Friday, 9:30 till 4:30, and Saturday, 9 until 3. It's the bigger and better than ever. It's the largest consignment store in Glasgow. They have a whole lot of new ticket items down there, too. I'm talking about new ticket items. Loads of name brand inventory, and they're just so tickled down there From My Closet to Yours to have such a big space now to let you kind of come in there and browse. Come check them out today. Put it on the list of things to get done. From My Closet to Yours, the new location in the old Wyatt's Painting building right there at 202 North Green Street, and they look forward to seeing you. They're there today until 4:30, and tomorrow till 4:30, and they're Saturday from 9 until 3. So come on out and look at all this. From My Closet to Yours.
I'm Marilyn Shaw, a teller at the People's Bank. At the People's Bank, we are here helping the people who live and work in our community. We welcome all your financial needs, and our friendly, personable service sets us apart from the rest. We are your community bank, delivering the services you need on a person-to-person basis. Stop into the People's Bank today. Pay us a visit and let us know how we can work for you. The People's Bank, working for you, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is Terry Bennell with the People's Bank, and welcome to another segment of Banking on Business. This morning we're at Yogi Bear's Jellystone Park, Mammoth Cave. We're at 950 Mammoth Cave Road in Cave City. I'm with Angela Lindsay. Angela, welcome to today's program.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. It's great to be in this facility. Now, it's warm outside, but this is a cool place to be.
Very much.
Yeah, so what's all going on this summer?
So this summer we have several things going on. You can get day passes for our lake area, and that hours is from 10 to 7.
Okay.
On the lake hour, there's a Whibbit, and that's an additional charge of $8 for a session. It's an inflatable looking obstacle course on the water.
Right. Now, when we talk about the lake now, we're talking about a lake with sand.
Right. There's a beach on there.
A beach,
Yes.
Yeah, we got a beach right here in Cave City.
Yes. Who knew?
Yeah. But I mean, it's fun. I mean, the temperature is warm outside, so this is a great place, we said, to cool off.
Right.
Now, I need to come and camp out, right?
Right.
There's a lot of opportunities to camp out here.
There is. We've got RV spots and cabins. So if you don't like camping, tent camping, we have our cabins that you can stay in with air conditions and bathrooms and everything.
Okay. That makes it almost like a hotel.
It does. It really does.
Well, the campground's been here for a number of years, but the renovations that were done a few years ago just totally changed.
It really did. It added a lot to the park.
Right. Just a lot more options that people can enjoy now.
Yes.
Right. Now, your hours of operation here for the beach are what?
The beach hours are 10 to 7.
10 to 7, okay.
The retail side is from 8 in the morning to 8 at night.
Okay. Now, is that 7 days a week, or?
That's Monday through Sunday.
Okay, so 7 days a week, we got that open. Of course, the campground is open all the time.
24/7, yes. So we don't even have to be here if you're going to be late in check-ins and stuff. We leave that all out for you, so if you're going to be a little bit later, that's not a big deal.
So someone could come and stay overnight, 2, 3, 5 days, and when they do that, then they get all the activities here.
Right, yeah. So we have a couple of pools on site. We have a putt-putt golf course.
Right.
We even have an arcade on site. And then there's a bunch of playgrounds, jumping pillows and pedal carts, and of course the beach that we've already talked about.
Right. So a lot to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and it's great. I mean, this is a great addition to KC, our entire region here.
Yes, and it's really neat the amount of people that come here that aren't local. So we get lots of out-of-state people as well.
Right. Again, great. I mean, the addition here and what you continue to do is just fantastic. So we appreciate you being in our community.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being on our Banking on Business today. Been talking with Angela Lindsay here at Yogi Bear's Judgestone Park, Mammoth Cave in Cave City. You got to come by and check them out. A lot of activity for children and adults too.
Yes.
You want to look to cool off, you know, a nice place to eat as well. It's all here, isn't it, Angela?
Yes.
Yeah. And we appreciate you watching and listening this morning to another segment of Banking on Business.
Terry, and it's really great to be able to have Angela on there and talking about all of the wonderful things that we have to offer there. Our folks who are visiting the area in Cave City, for sure. Banking on Business, made possible by the People's Bank, and we're certainly tickled to have that program on. They do a good job of keeping it fresh and do a good job of having lots of neat merchants on there, and we have lots of neat merchants to be proud of around here for sure. Banking on Business. Okay, 7:35. I can't hold off any longer. I got to get you all straightened out on birthdays and anniversaries today. We have Joyce Driver, who is 71, Cassie Traylor is 39, and Mr. Luke Carter. Luke is 14 today. It's a big birthday for Stacy Hammer. Cassie Edwards celebrates. Bonnie Riggs is 65. Lindsay Lloyd. Kathy Kingry. Chad Williams. Jerry Reinhart. Gina Newberry. Clinton Powell. Clinton is 67 today. Congratulations. No anniversaries yet, but room on the paper if you got one in the workplace, a family tree, or in the office or just wherever. Let us know about it. 651-9149. 800-956-1023. And online here, the easiest of clicks at WCLUradio.com. We really appreciate you letting us know about that. And we want you to pat on the back today, Chad Williams. It's Chad Williams Day on the radio. He's celebrating a birthday today. We need to remind him a well-known fact that he is good as gold. Be sure and remind him of that, too, from his friends here at WCLU and A Little Taste of Texas, where they always put on a special celebration, regardless of the celebration, at A Little Taste of Texas. Coming up Saturday, that's this coming Saturday, which is the second Saturday of the month, July the 9th, It's the Saturday Recycle Drop-Off. Going to be going on there at 310 West Front Street. And that is going to be rescheduled to Saturday, July the 9th. So I want to be sure that you know about that, because it's an important part of keeping our community clean is having this nice recycling drop-off. That's going to be there at 310 West Front Street. They got a neat little way they have it set up where you can come in real easy through the gate there, back kind of facing the back of the post office, drive through, drop it off, and head on out onto Water Street. You will see that. Also coming up this Saturday, the Austin Tracy High School reunion will be held from 1 until 4 in the school gymnasium. The reunion is free to attend. It's open to students, teachers, and staff who attended the school or who worked there during the years that Austin Tracy was a high school, which is 1934 to 1973. Wow. You can call or text Brenda Bush with questions. She'll get an answer for you. 502-226-0230. How about that? 738. What's the weather going to do? You know.
Weather brought to you by Peggy Tuck Edwards and Private Caregiver Referral Services. When roles reverse in later years, when child becomes caretaker, when the needs of a parent become most important, it's comforting to know there is help along the way. Sometimes our elders just need a little company and companionship, and it's our duty to see that those needs are met, whether at home, assisted living, or a nursing home facility. Peggy and her network of compassionate caregivers are ready to meet you and your loved one's needs. Call 670-7062.
In the WCLU Forecast Center for today, we have an extreme heat advisory. Yes, you hoped it would go away, didn't you? Well, it's not. But pay close attention. There's some important factors you got to figure into whatever you're going to do, wherever you're going to be today. Showers and thunder showers likely this afternoon. A sunny and hot day. 94 is what the thermometer is going to say, but you factor in humidity and the sun beating down on you. It's going to feel like 103 outside. I wouldn't spend much time out there for sure. Tonight, a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, a low of 74. Friday, a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, a high of 93. Friday night, showers and thunderstorms likely, a low of 72. The shower chance is going to be 60% Friday night, and then a 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms on Saturday, and a high of 87. Things are pretty quiet on the radar screen. Early this morning, we had some pop-up showers on the Kentucky-Tennessee line down in Clinton County and into Monroe County a little bit, but right now, at least, it looks quiet. But these things, they pop up in the middle of nowhere. You can't see them moving in. You can't see them moving through. They just sort of, blam, they're right there. Very hard to predict, and sometimes they can be pretty nasty, too, so be aware of that. 740 and 79 degrees. Weather brought to you by Peggy Tuck Edwards, Private Caregiver Referral Services. Let me refer you to Peggy's number if you have questions here at 270-670-7062.
If you suffer from joint pain, from arthritis, or an injury, you already know the traditional treatments, pain meds and steroids and then surgery, right? Hey, it's Henry Royce with great news from the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. This is an advanced, exciting, and natural alternative that can give you lasting relief using your body's own healing power. Listen, steroid shots are toxic to your joints. Pain meds are addictive, and nobody wants to go under the knife. It is 2022, and those old ways are out, and the new ways are in. Regenerative medicine can restore and repair damaged joint tissue using the natural biologics. No drugs, no downtime, no surgery. QC Kinetics regenerative protocols can address any pain in any joint and give you the quality of life that you deserve. Call now and schedule your free consultation. 270-974-4500. That's 270-974-4500. QC Kinetics. 270-974-4500.
Are you over 50? Would you like to get up to 33% more income in retirement? Then call now for this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers, from a leading financial firm on maximizing your income in retirement. That's right, free. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuities in simple-to-understand terms that will help you make the right choices before buying an annuity. And it's free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits from financially strong insurers.
Call 800-715-9880.
That's right, annuity do's and don'ts for baby boomers and annuity rate report, both absolutely free for calling today.
Call 800-715-9880. That's 800-715-9880.
Sponsored by Annuity General. Producers have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer. Increased income is possible using strategies suited to your goals and may require buying multiple annuities and holding them full term.
Andersen Windows and Doors with Stormwatch protection are designed to meet building codes for coastal locations from Maine to Miami, Gainesville to Galveston, and they're on guard even when no one is home. Andersen Windows and Doors with Stormwatch protection. The uglier the weather gets, the more beautiful they become.
See the full line of Andersen Windows and Doors at Glasgow Building Supply, 31E Bypass in Glasgow. Andersen Windows. Come home to Andersen.
Good morning, friends. You know, often we are tempted to judge our spirituality by comparing ourselves to someone else. If we seem to be doing more good or less wrong than another, we pat ourselves on the back and feel self-satisfied. We may never seem to measure up to the expectations of others when it comes to right deeds and thoughts. We may hear someone say, well, I'm not a saint, but at least I don't do what so-and-so does. The ground is level at the foot of the cross. We are either saved by the grace of God or we are in a lost state. The sin of gossip will condemn a person just as quickly as the sin of homosexuality. And upon repentance, the blood of Christ will cleanse any and all sins that might be committed. Don't compare yourself with another person when determining your level of spirituality or level of acceptability before God. Compare yourself with the Lord Jesus and then see how you come out. When we make that comparison, we will all come up short of what we need to be. Stop confessing the sins of others and start confessing your own. Stop feeling inferior because you cannot seem to be what you want to be spiritually. Give everything to Jesus and he can transform you into what he needs you to be. This is Danny Wyatt for the Refuge Church of Christ.
Bobby Lee Hurt, also known as Bobby Lee. That's how you're known as there. A guy that brings a song to everybody's heart. Isn't that right, Bobby Lee?
That's right. Hey, whatever tune you want to put on there, we can do it. All right?
That's right. And, you know, the reason why I bring that up is because of the fact that one thing is about Hurt Auto Sales, located at 621 West Main Street. Regardless of the weather, if it's 500 degrees or 5 degrees, if gas is $5 a gallon or $1.50 a gallon, you've got to have a dependable piece of transportation out there to get you where you're going. And you've got to have something to choose from, and you got to feel good about it, which that's exactly some of the things that shopping at Hurt Auto Sales for you does for you, regardless of the particular situation. Isn't that right?
That's correct, Henry. We just got in some new rides that haven't had any of these kind of vehicles for a while, so this is a nice surprise.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Got a 2019 Dodge Grand Caravan, leather, loaded up, local vehicle, price for just $19,900.
Oh, wow. Dodge Caravan. They're the ones that kind of perfected minivans, didn't they?
That's right. Lots of room and good vacation vehicle.
Indeed.
Got an 06 Honda Ridgeline, four-wheel drive, four-door truck, another sharp ride, hard-to-find vehicles. And we've got it priced for just $10,900.
Okay, say the name. What's that model again?
It's a Honda Ridgeline.
Ridgeline, okay, and it's 4 doors and 4-wheel drive?
That's right.
And it's a truck? Right. And it's like $10,000 some odd dollars?
Yes, sir, $10,900.
Man, you are really you're bottom dollar in everything today.
That's right. It's going to make somebody a fine automobile. Sure will.
I'm glad of that. Yes, sir.
And speaking of fine automobiles at a good price.
Yes, sir.
Got a 2012 Ford Fusion, little 4-door sedan.
Yeah.
And we've got it priced for just $6,900.
See there, you've got a great price regardless of what your need is, regardless of what you're looking for. You can come find and buy with confidence that you're buying from good folks who do good business there at Hurt Auto Sales. We had, on the archives today, Bobby Lee, we had the store. It was this day 100 years ago that a guy out in somewhere in Tompkinsville brought a cow to Glasgow in the back of a Ford Roadster.
Oh, goodness.
Brought the cow from Tompkinsville to Glasgow in the rumble seat of the Ford.
I bet that was a sight to see.
The cow was in there. A cow was in there 2 hours.
Oh, goodness.
And the road was so muddy that the running board dragged in the mud.
Oh, my goodness.
But
that had to be the cow was probably afraid to get out.
I think the cow was hacked.
Yeah, probably so.
But nonetheless, you got that Ford Focus up there. You can focus on getting whatever you're taking, wherever you're going. At what did you tell me that price again on the Focus?
Only $6,900.
All right. Well, anyway, I didn't mean to get off on the Ford bringing the cow to town, but nonetheless.
Hey, that's right. They can do it all.
They can, for sure. All right. Hurt Auto Sales is located at 621 West Main Street. Bobby Lee is on the prowl today. He is shopping today for what might be your next vehicle, or it might be up there. Test drive it today. Check out the air conditioning. Check out how it feels on the hot pavement, and you'll be impressed because Bobby Lee has his business set up that way every day. And don't forget the motto that they're operating under today, which is
no pain when you trade with Hurt.
All right, Bobby Lee, y'all be careful, okay?
Most certainly will. Thank you, Henry.
Thank you.
The outdoors, you love it. On the road, the trail, in the water, or in your own backyard. You want the best of everything to help you get the job done better and faster. And out the door, off to your next adventure. Make it happen at the new locally owned KY Power Sports Outdoor and Marine of Glasgow. See John Dial to get your surroundings spectacular with power equipment from Skag, Gravely, Echo, Cub Cadet, Wright, and more. Mowers, weed eaters, and chainsaws. Even pressure washers from Vortex. Plus engine repair if you need it. And rock and mulch when you're ready to liven up your landscaping. To put your go into gear, get your own ATV or side-by-side UTV from KY Power Sports. And for those who know life is best enjoyed on the water, KY Power Sports Outdoor and Marine in Glasgow carries personal watercraft and power boats. When it comes to everything outdoors, see new owner John Dial and make it happen at the new locally owned KY Power Sports Outdoor and Marine, 402 South L. Rogers Wells Boulevard in Glasgow.
If you suffer from joint pain, from arthritis, or an injury, you already know the traditional treatments. Pain meds and steroids and then surgery, right? Hey, it's Henry Royce with great news from the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. This is an advanced, exciting, and natural alternative that can give you lasting relief using your body's own healing power. Listen, steroid shots are toxic to your joints. Pain meds are addictive and nobody wants to go under the knife. It is 2022, and those old ways are out, and the new ways are in. Regenerative medicine can restore and repair damaged joint tissue using the natural biologics. No drugs, no downtime, no surgery. QC Kinetics regenerative protocols can address any pain in any joint and give you the quality of life that you deserve. Call now and schedule your free consultation. 270-974-4500. That's 270-974-4500. QC Kinetics. 270-974-4500.
Highland Pharmacy on Rogers Road in Glasgow has been a community favorite since 2012, and there's a reason for that. They consistently offer a wide range of customized services, quality care, and a commitment to you. Over-the-counter COVID tests are available and can be billed to most insurance carriers. You can also receive the COVID vaccine at Highland Pharmacy. Register at highland-pharmacy.com. That's highland-pharmacy.com. Highland Pharmacy, a community favorite since 2012.
Super easy streaming TV from SCRTC with MyStream TV. Fiber customers can search for SCRTC on a favorite device and download the MyStream TV app. Then call SCRTC to get signed up. Same great live TV service now streaming next to your favorite apps. No more boxes, no more wiring. With MyStream TV, watch up to 3 live streams at once. Go back and catch up TV and restart current TV from the beginning. Even works on your smartphone and tablets. So good news, SCRTC Fiber customers. You can start some super easy streaming TV by calling today.
Good morning live. I think we ought to check out some tidbits here this morning.
From the north, south, east, west, NEWS, here's the latest news.
From around the world and up your street is Tidbit News. James is on the board over there.
Good morning.
Getting ready for the trader at 8 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Brennan has been up there in the newsroom working hard all morning.
I'm here.
You got a ding up there, do you? Remember that song? Gimme that ding, gimme that ding. You don't remember that, do you?
No, I have this.
From 1937.
I mean, I've got another one. I got...
What?
All right.
Sound like a truck backing up.
Or it sound like a word you didn't want to broadcast.
Well, right. I mean, that's my sound.
Okay. All right. Got you. That's
censor,
right.
censor.
At the sound of the tone, do what?
I've got that on my phone.
Okay.
So in case anybody's talking, I just need to say, wait a minute, did you say...
Hang on a second. That's right. I thought that's what you said. All right, story number one. It's an odd day in Tidbit News. I'm going to do this one because I got a picture with it, okay? And this is really not as odd of a news story as what I have a little bit later. But you remember back, James, back when we used to kind of poke fun at a young Brendan Crane because he had that front porch.
Oh, yeah, the porch dew.
Porch dew on his haircut?
Yeah.
Well, I thought he's shaking his head like he doesn't remember that.
No, I remember.
But this story is out of
COVID hit right in there.
This story is out of Canada. Now, look at this picture right here. If you watch on EPB6 or on Facebook Live, this is a picture of a girl whose name is Christine Rodriguez. She's been traveling a lot for work lately since the pandemic restrictions are going down. She goes in and out of airports regularly to get to festivals and media events. Well, guess what? She has been searched. Her hair has been searched by airport security guards 3 times in the last 2 months. Apparently, she's got a different kind of a porch going there.
I got to check this out.
It's kind of a like a side porch or whatever, but nonetheless, she has had her hair searched by airport security agents 3 times in less than 2 months. The third time it happened about 2 weeks ago at the Billy Bishop Toronto City Airport. Quote, "I was upset because it's not random," she says. "It's happening to me like every time I travel." She has a mixed racial background. She often wears her crown of brown hair in a ponytail. Even when she undid her ponytail and shook her hair out at the security gate, the agent said they would have to check her hair with their own hands. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
They don't seem to understand that it's deeply offensive and invasive, Ms. Rodriguez says.
So they think she's hiding things in her
I don't
hair?
know. What could you hide in hair like that?
I don't know.
I mean,
drugs, maybe?
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Kind of like hiding it in tall grass.
That's right. It is kind of like, hey, it could be like, let's go out here, let's check the weeds for weed.
Well, I think that they ought to check anyone's hair, regardless of of race or anything like that.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you could imagine that there might be somebody that would probably try something,
that's right.
regardless if she would or not. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that it is offensive to some extent, but, when you're getting on an airplane, it's offensive that they make me raise my shirt up and show my big belly. But, it's just a part of it.
What are you hiding in there?
Well, I'm just saying, in general.
What could you put in that belly button?
I'm not saying me. I just said in general.
Oh,
well,
okay, gotcha.
Okay, you have a better front porch than she does.
I'm not going to say that either.
Okay.
How about we just transition?
Move
out
on.
of that?
Okay.
Transition out of
Anyway,
that.
if you didn't see that picture, check it out. Her name is Christine something. Christine
Harris.
No, Christine Rodriguez. That's it.
Rodriguez.
Check her out. Yeah. Okay, this is some weird stuff. Okay. The next 2 stories are really weird. Alaska wildlife officials have killed 4 black bears in a campground that was recently reserved for people in Anchorage who are homeless after the city's biggest shelter was closed. You get that? They closed the homeless shelter, putting them in another shelter that's infested with bears.
Ooh.
Employees from Alaska's Department of Fish and Game this week killed a sow and her 2 cubs and another adult bear. City officials said the bears were stealing food from tents inside of Centennial Park, which is managed by the city. Anchorage is Alaska's biggest city. They have 300,000 residents, but it's also bear country. Hey, what do bears do in captivity? They got to eat.
They got to eat to live.
And they don't have a grocery store nearby. Anyway. And this story also is another weird one. What's the world coming to? Think about this.
An end.
One note submitted to a federal judge sentencing a 38-year-old California woman for embezzlement claimed a biopsy had revealed cancerous cells in her uterus. Another said she was having surgery and her cancer had spread to the cervix. Yet another letter warned that she couldn't be exposed to COVID-19 because of her fragile state. Federal officials say all of those notes and all of those diagnoses of cancer were all fake. And now Ashley Lynn Chavez is being punished for her deception. She originally was supposed to go to jail for a year, and now with all of those tactics to fake out people, she's now had 2 more years added to that term. So she's gone to 3 years just for trying to get it down to 0.
Boy. I've heard of some people here locally saying they had cancer when they didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know necessarily if it's true, but I've heard about it.
Well, you know.
Why would you speak that on yourself?
You hear about things.
It is. But nonetheless, this girl right here is saying, wait a minute, I got problems. Don't sentence me. Well, we're going to sentence you.
Yep.
Even more so now. All right. That's what we have today. We had the front porch, the search for the hair.
And I did get information.
The homeless bears.
I did get information from listener Melissa Smith that the TSA does advise passengers to remove all items from their hair before going through airport security and warns that if you're wearing a hairpiece, extensions, or a wig, or a ponytail, or a hair bun, or braids, you just might trigger the warning system.
Or a weave.
Well, I think that's considered, extensions.
Yeah, well, anyway, I'll already do that.
I'll ask. I've got a source.
I like to be cautious.
I love to see Henry with the dreadlocks.
Yeah, I've got him. You would dread that.
I got to get off here. I got to get off here.
Tidbit news for today. It's a home that's as pretty as its address is, 108 Love Street in Glasgow, and it'll be sold at auction this Saturday morning. Yes, it's a don't-miss opportunity this Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Elmore Realty and Auction is honored to sell this excellent home, and tons of personal property, too. This is a 3-bedroom home with 1.5 baths, 1,500 square feet with a full walkout basement, large eat-in kitchen, formal living room, den and study, spacious dining room, hardwood flooring and carpet with plenty of storage in a private backyard. Personal property includes antiques, glassware, vintage toys, collectibles, Coca-Cola items, tools, and so much more. Go online at elmoreauction.com for great photos of these items to be sold and lots of surprises, too. It's at 10 a.m. this Saturday morning, 108 Love Street in Glasgow. Sold by the auction specialist at Elmore Auction, Dakota Ray Elmore, principal auctioneer.
It is almost impossible to comprehend the emotional burden involved when making final arrangements and no decisions have been made beforehand. At Hatcher and Sadler Funeral Home, we're trained and experienced at assisting local families making final arrangements in advance. Coming to terms with the loss is difficult enough. Make it easier for your loved ones by making your wishes known. Hatcher and Sadler Funeral Home in Glasgow, serving all with dignity and respect since 1899.
Coming up, the 8 o'clock morning edition.
Hatcher and Sadler Funeral Home is by your side. They take great pride in the services they offer, continually upgrading those to serve your needs better. They also can assist you with filing Social Security and insurance papers, as well as filing for veterans benefits. There when you need them since 1899.
This is your home for
Hatcher and
Glasgow's
Sadler
best
Funeral Home
variety.
at the corner of
WCLU